What's going on? I'm sorry, I got no energy. What's going on, guys? I actually just got off of work this morning. Not really in the mood to do a lot of singing. We're gonna kind of get right into it. And if you're wondering why I'm whispering, it's because everybody in the household is still sleeping, and I just got off at 7 o'clock this morning. But we're gonna make a very quick, simple, easy video on how to make homemade biscuits with just using a few ingredients. I did quite a bit of searching on the internet just to see what ingredients I would have to use, and I came across quite a few of them, but I used one, and actually I baked them yesterday and they came out pretty good. So let's go ahead and begin. Let me change my camera angle here. So the ingredients are very simple: salt, sugar, all-purpose flour, baking powder. So what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to put our dry ingredients in the bowl first. Now, for baking, you have to be pretty precise with the measurements. That's what I'm learning, because I guess if you're not, it kind of throws everything off a little bit. So for the can't get my words right this morning. For the baking powder, it's asking for 1 tablespoon. I'm just using a regular spoon. I don't know if that's the equivalent of a tablespoon, but I guess we'll find out. It says 1 teaspoon of salt. Again, I'm just using a spoon. I'll put a little bit of salt in there. See, this is about how much I put in there. This is the same amount that I did yesterday as well. And 1 tablespoon of sugar. I guess that adds a little bit of sweetness to it as well. And let's take a little break. Right now I'm drinking some coffee. I need the coffee or I might fall asleep on the video. It's like, I'm not gonna do that. As you can hear, it's nice and quiet in my house. There's nothing going on. But, oh, I almost forgot. This is a very key component. Butter. I don't know why I didn't mention this. Butter is important. Frozen butter. So I learned from doing a little bit of research on the internet. Actually, it's funny because a lot of chefs have said this as well. To get a flaky, more consistency throughout the I'm about to say donut biscuit, to have its I guess to be moist. It's kind of weird using that word, but frozen butter in the dough. So it's asking for 6 tablespoons of butter. So we're gonna go ahead and cut. And what was recommended is to go ahead and use a cheese grater to put the butter inside the bowl. Actually, not inside the bowl, but put it in a separate bowl and then dump it inside. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'll try not to slice my fingers up, because every time I use this darn cheese grater, I always get too close. And today, it's actually coming off, it's actually grating pretty easy. Yesterday, when I was trying to do this, let's just say I nicked my fingers a couple of times doing this. because I don't realize how fast I grate and I get down. It gets down pretty quickly. I guess when you're putting a lot of pressure on it, like it's doing now. So the last thing, so once I add the butter, after I finish grating it, as you can see how it looks, it almost looks like cheese. I'm going to add the milk. That's going to be the last component that I'm going to add to the bowl. So I'm still grating the 6 tablespoons of butter right now. And you know what, I actually just thought about this. The instructions told me to, you know, grate it in a bowl. And I don't see what the point is of, because all I'm doing is making another bowl for me to clean. So I could have just grated the frozen butter inside the bowl. I don't think it would have really even mattered. And once I'm done with this, what I'm going to do is use a wooden spoon after I put the milk in to mix the dough, or to mix all the components together. So that should be about done. Of course, the butter is sticking to the grater. Again, that's what it looks like. It looks pretty. It looks pretty, actually. So let's dump all of this butter in here. It's funny because it's almost sticking to my hands like cheese. Let me kind of rinse my hands off here. Okay, let me wash my hands. Now yesterday when I made these biscuits, they came out really well. I already have my oven set at 425. Just clean up my mess. As you already know, when I cook, I have to clean. It's necessary. Get another sip of my coffee. Alright, so let's take our milk out of the refrigerator. And you're only going to use about 3/4 cup milk. You're not using that much milk. And again, we're going to take the wooden spoon, mix. Now, by the time you're done mixing, the dough is going to be a little coarse. You don't want to overmix, but you still want to get the butter evenly in the dough mixture. It's funny because I was going to put this in a food processor, but then I was like, oh, that might not come out right, so let me not do that. I'm going to mix this just a little bit more. Make sure the butter, see how the butter is sticking to the spoon? Okay. Alright, I'm assuming it's about done. as far as the dough. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of flour to my board. And this is all-purpose flour that I'm using. Of course, the dough is still a little sticky and it's not really put together, but it will be once I'm done. And it says not to use a rolling pin. It says, I guess, the rolling pin does something to the dough, from what I was reading. So, yeah, this dough is a lot less put together than my dough from yesterday. We're making a mess, but that's okay. These biscuits the biscuits from yesterday were a little bit small, so I'm gonna make these a little bit bigger today. And it says to actually fold the dough like 5 or 6 times. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try not to overfold it. The funny thing is, too, it's like, I guess everybody's baking during this time because, you know, there was never a time where you go to the store and you can't find baking powder or flour. I can't even find a biscuit cutter. I kid you not. I've gone to several stores and have not found one biscuit cutter. So I'm gonna use a method using my my glass that I drink my alcohol in, because it's the best kind of glass that I have, where it's gonna cut evenly. Not gonna spread this out too much. And as you can see, there's butter all throughout the dough, which is gonna make for a good biscuit, really good biscuit. All right, so I think that's enough folding. Like I said, I'm gonna make these biscuits a little bit bigger today. Actually, let's fold it one more time. Okay. So I want to make at least 4. Like yesterday, I was able to make quite a few, but I want these to be bigger so you can see how they come out. Like, it's up to you. I heard that, you know, it's not good to kind of overwork the dough and things of that nature, so I'm trying not to overwork it. Hopefully I didn't. I'm a little tired. I actually did the same thing when I came home yesterday, but, you know, this is my second day in a row working overnight. So the tiredness has caught up to me. So what I'm going to do, this is a little hack that you can use if you do not have a pizza cutter. I mean, not a pizza cutter, but a biscuit cutter. Of course, look at my mess. All over my pants. So this is the glass I'm using. I'm taking some canola oil and I'm going to take a paper towel and put some oil on the paper towel and rub it on the brim of my glass. Now once I do that, I don't know why I'm using this big cooking pan. It's probably too big. So I'm going to use this to put my biscuits in, because it's not going to be that many. Just go ahead and spray it with Pam. You take your glass. Nice little size biscuit. Do the same thing on the other side. Twist it. There you go. I'm trying to get at least maybe 4 out of this. Nice little size. So then we can do now is take this dough, it's definitely probably going to be more than 4. I didn't do this one perfectly, but that's okay. This one is going to be a little bit bigger. It's probably going to be about maybe 2 more. Put some more flour on this dough so it doesn't fall apart. This one's going to be a little deformed. And this one I'm just making up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, actually I made about 7. So let me do my other sheet pan. Now we're going to put them in the oven. But before we do, we are going to take some melted butter. And we're gonna brush some melted butter over top of the biscuits. I don't even know what this is. So voila, there you go. So now let's take out some butter and melt maybe like a teaspoon. Got 1 teaspoon of butter. We're gonna melt this real quick in the microwave. I don't know about you guys, but when you guys melt butter, Does it get all over your microwave even if you cover it? Because every time I do that, it does that. See, this is how tired I am. I literally left something in there with aluminum foil, and it was a biscuit. So this is how one of them came out yesterday. Came out really, it almost smells like I'm about to say like a real biscuit. Came out really well. So now we're gonna take this melted butter. We're gonna take our baster. Now it's going to take about 20 to 25 minutes to bake. So in the meantime, go ahead and kick back, relax, watch some other YouTube videos maybe, do some reading. And I will again, even if you first start baking, maybe the first time may not come out as perfect as you like. It doesn't matter. Keep at it. That's the important thing. This is all a learning process for every single one of us. So let's take the melted butter. Nice little generous portion of the melted butter. And there you have it, guys. Palatatious, homemade buttermilk biscuits. Not my mama biscuits. Not my mama's biscuits. Now let's taste one. So we did pop this one open. Which one do we pop open? So this one. Smells really good. Let's put a little bit of honey on it. Actually, let's try it before we put the honey on it. See what it tastes like. Okay. So you taste the salt, you taste a slight bit of sugar, and the thing about the frozen butter that I was saying, it's very soft. Take a bite. May not be professional yet, but trust me. The more I keep baking, the better I will become. Let's try it with the honey. Really good with the honey. So there you have it, guys. I'll put the description and everything, the ingredients, the instructions. And there you have it. Simple ingredients to make homemade buttermilk biscuits. Can't beat that. If you like what you see, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Let's have fun. Let's get it. All in a day's work. Palatacious Hill. And I'm out.